So you have heard about the S&P 500 Index that can help you to grow your money at a rate of 8 to 10% per annum, and so you begin to search on the internet how to do that, and somehow for some reason the YouTube algorithm magically brings you to this video that will solve everything that you have in your mind right now. And so shall I say welcome, because in this video you're gonna learn about every single thing you need to know and do in order to get started with investing in the S&P 500 Index. Just to give you a little preface in case you're new here, I cover almost every aspect of investing in the US market from a non-US resident's perspective, but I realized those information, especially my videos, may be scattered here and there. So I plan to make this a summary video so that you know where and what to look up if you want to start investing in the S&P 500 Index. But just before we begin, since you're already here, a little smack of the like button will really help more people to discover this video. Thank you very much. So without wasting any more of your precious time, let's get started. So step 1 in your journey towards the S&P 500 Index is, as weird as it sounds, choosing the right S&P 500 Index to invest in.
Wait, what? There's more than one S&P 500 Index?
Well, technically yes, there is only one S&P 500 Index, but you cannot buy the index directly because an index is literally a number that moves up and down like this chart if I were to simplify it. What you are looking for are actually investment vehicles, not the car, but like an agent that tracks the movement of this number. And for that, they generally come in the form of mutual funds and exchange traded funds, ETFs. Now, to keep this video short and straight to the point, if you are watching this as a non-US resident, which I presume most of you are, you can ignore mutual funds because it is borderline impossible to invest in the US mutual funds as a non-US resident due to some financial regulatory limitations, since mutual funds are not publicly traded like ETFs. And speaking of ETFs, it behaves just like a stock, except it is a basket of stock, say 50 or 100 or 500 stocks traded under one ticker symbol. For example, if you want to buy an Apple stock, you would look for its ticker symbol AAPL, right? That's the same thing with ETFs. If you want to buy, say, one of the largest S&P 500 ETF, you can type in their ticker symbol VOO and you will be presented the ETF that tracks the movement of the S&P 500 Index. Very simple, right? But anyways, more on this in the later section. Now, that was just one of the dozens of S&P 500 ETFs out there. I have previously made a detailed video talking about every aspect that you need to know, such as the taxations involved, expense ratio, base trading currency, and etc. So pause me here. And welcome back. So to summarize that video, I would again say that two of my favorite S&P 500 ETFs are VOO for the US version and CSPX for the Irish version, which is more tax effective for most people. Now, presuming you have watched the previous video, you must have the ETF's ticker symbol in your mind now, right? So logically, the next thing you will need is a brokerage account that is able to help you to buy and sell that ETF, just like a bank account that helps you to hold and transact your cash, except different banks offer different financial products and some are better than one another, if it makes any sense. But bottom line, my point is you will need to select the right brokerage account for the right purpose, because different brokers offer different features and functionalities. If you want to buy the US ETF, say VOO, which is traded on the New York Stock Exchange, you will need a broker that can trade in the US stock market. And likewise with CSPX, since it is listed on the London Stock Exchange, which is in the United Kingdom, you will need a broker that allows you to trade in the UK stock market. I have previously made a detailed video comparing 14 different brokers that covers almost every aspect of them, so I highly recommend you to check out this video. So pause this video here. And to cut to the chase, the best broker that I would recommend you is Interactive Brokers. Look no further, it's the cheapest, most well-regulated, well-established, and most flexible broker outside of the US that one can go for. Trust me, I've been in this rabbit hole researching about brokers for about 2 years already. Nothing comes close to what they offer. You have my word on that. And to guide you through your entire investing journey with Interactive Brokers, I have more than 15 videos covering every aspect that you need to know. Just search on YouTube and I can guarantee you plus chop that you will see my face in the search results. Now, once you have your brokerage account set up, the next and the most obvious thing that you need to do is to fund the account with the right currency for the ETF that you want to trade.
NANI?
What do I mean by that? For example, if you want to trade the VOO ETF, just Google it and see the currency beside the share price. And likewise with CSPX, it is also denominated in US dollar. So by logic, you will need to have US dollar cash in your brokerage account, especially if it's interactive brokers. There are some other brokers out there like Rakuten Trade that will auto convert your local currency to US dollar at the point of trade, but they usually take a small cut out of each transaction. So it's not necessarily the most cost-effective way of investing, but to each of their own, right? I will just speak in the context of interactive brokers where you can deposit any currency from anywhere in the world and convert them into US dollar at spot market rate with a small fee of just $2 US. Let me make this very simple because I've covered this in detail in multiple videos. So if you are from Malaysia or Singapore, check out this video. And if you are from any other countries, you can check out this video. And if you happen to have a Wise account regardless of where you come from, you can also fund your interactive brokers account by checking out this video. Trust me, that 3 videos are all you need. It might seem daunting at start, but if you follow my tutorial step by step, I can guarantee you the initial setup and hassle will be worth it because you will save a ton of money in the long run. I mean, just read the comment section of those videos and you're welcome. So you have your account funded with settled cash and you are ready to start buying into the S&P 500 ETFs. It's really simple. It works just like how you would buy a stock. I've also previously made a detailed tutorial on how to use your interactive brokers account, so I highly recommend you to check that one first. It should be more or less the same even if it's with any other broker. But anyways, I will give you a very brief walkthrough so you can get a sense of how it works. In your brokerage app, look for the trade button, then enter the ticker symbol for the ETF you want to buy. If it's VOO that is traded on the New York Stock Exchange ARCA, choose the first one. And sometimes you will have to select between stock or option. Choose stock. This is how your typical buy order looks like. If you want to buy 1 full share of VOO, you can type in 1. But if you plan to buy half of it, since interactive brokers allows you to trade fractional shares only for the US market, you can also type in 0.5 or just any other number, up to you. For this demo, I will show you with 1 instead. Choose the shares button since we are buying in terms of number of shares. And for the order type, I like limit, but you can always go for others. Again, I've explained all of this before in my previous video. If you are unsure how much you should buy for each trade in order to be cost effective, I have a thumb rule where my brokerage fee should not exceed 0.1% of my trade value. So feel free to follow this simple chart as a guidance for your trades. But just one thing to keep in mind, US ETFs and UK ETFs have different commission structure. It is much cheaper to trade US ETFs, as you can see Interactive Broker charges you minimum 35 cents per trade, while over on the UK side, the minimum per trade is $1.70. So keep that in mind as well, and also don't forget to switch to the tiered pricing structure, which I've covered in my previous videos as well. Coming back here, limit price. You can set any price you want to trade the ETF at. This will form the cost basis for your investment. Time in force, there's a few options here. I personally prefer day. Outside RTH, feel free to check or uncheck this, it doesn't really matter as well. Attach orders, I don't usually attach any profit taker or stop losses as I like to sell my stocks manually whenever I want to. So then you can just click submit buy order or preview it, and this window shows you your order, and once you have reviewed it, just click transmit order, and there you have it. Your order has been submitted, and once the market opens and if the order goes through, you have successfully owned 1 share of this S&P 500 ETF. Now, if you are totally new to how a trade works, I believe you should know that for every investment, there is a possibility of profiting, and likewise, there is a possibility of making losses. That's it. Let's talk about how you can profit from investing in the S&P 500 Index. There are 2 ways you can profit from your investment. Firstly, capital gains. If, for example, you bought the US VOO ETF at $416 per share today, and 2 years down the road, you sold it at say $450 per share, your profit will be 450 minus 416, which is $34 per share. We call this capital gains because your then $416 grew in capital to become $450. If you have checked out my previous video, then you should know that for most countries outside of the US, there is no capital gains tax on this profit. So there is nothing you need to do here in terms of taxation. The second way is through dividends. Distributing ETFs like the VOO ETF will usually pay around 1 to 1.5% per annum of dividends, and that dividend will be paid as cash into your brokerage account on the dividend payment date. And usually foreign brokers like Interactive Brokers will not charge you a fee on that dividend handling, but just keep in mind that the amount you receive in cash will be less of the withholding tax, usually 30% for US ETFs and usually 15% for Irish ETFs. Again, there is nothing you need to do with this withholding tax because usually the broker will withhold for you automatically. Of course, it ultimately depends on your country's tax law on how foreign investment is being taxed, but for most countries, foreign investment income is not taxable as far as I am aware of. But do comment down below if your country does tax you for that. So once your cash is settled and whatnot after selling, you can obviously reinvest that amount or withdraw that money back into your local bank account. You can refer to 2 of these videos on withdrawal. Should be applicable for everyone regardless of where you are watching this from. So there you go. It's as simple as that. Technically, that is everything that you need to know to get started with investing in the S&P 500 Index. What I would recommend you to do immediately after this video is to refer this video to open a brokerage account with Interactive Brokers, and you should have your account ready within a day or 2. Some even say within a few hours. If you ever need any help with it, we have a super helpful community over at the Laureate Forum where we talk about all things Interactive Brokers. But of course, if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below or DM me via Instagram. I will be more than happy to help you out. Alright, thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, stay invested, and as usual, I will see you in the next one.